Good morning and welcome to today's Smart Business Strategies podcast. I am Anna Wiles, the franchise economist, and I am delighted to have you here. Please join me in welcoming our special guest, Chris Robideau, executive and side hustle franchisee. Chris, welcome to the show.
Good morning, Anna. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for being here, Chris, and sharing your story. There's so many people in the corporate world who want to do what you are currently doing now. You're keeping your day job, but yet you're growing a business on the side to set you up for the next phase of your life. So, Chris, start us off and tell us a little bit about your background and what got you even thinking about a franchise.
Yeah, so I've been in aerospace my whole career. I've engineer, got my MBA, been moving up through the management ranks, and really love it. Love airplanes, but I've always wanted to have my own business. But I've always kind of fallen into the trap that popular media gives you, where you've got to have this brand new concept and you build something from scratch in your garage. And I never considered myself creative enough to come up with that, and so I was kind of put it on the back burner. A number of years ago, I was talking with somebody and they started telling me about franchising and how the concept's already been created. Uh, they've already figured out the things that work and don't work and how to make it successful. But you still own your business. You're still the owner of it and controller of your destiny with this business. You just don't have to come up with the concept. It's there, already there for you. So a couple of years ago, as my divorce was wrapping up, I started thinking ahead to, okay, so on the other side of this, what's my life going to look like? What am I going to be doing? What do I want to be? And I came back around to franchising. And it's like, well, I've always wanted to own my own business, so let's go after that. And so reached out, started talking to a couple franchise consultants. You were one of those, Anna. I started exploring some of the different concepts that are out there, and ultimately settled on you as the one I was working with. Some of the others wasn't real thrilled with, because I felt like maybe there were some under the table deals going on. They were pushing very specific concepts, but you took the time to sit down with me and find out what I like, don't like, what my personality is, and help narrow down and find some good concepts for me to look at and consider. And so one of the things that was really important to me, as you've said, is doing the absentee owner thing. I love aerospace. I love the job that I'm in. I get to work with customers around the world, and I still really enjoy that. And don't have an intention to step away anytime soon. So, but as you said, this is a chance to have something on the side, kind of build some financial security, a second source of income, and do something and have something that I've built. You were able to take that need and that desire that I had, and find something that really worked well for me. So,
Well, that's wonderful, and I'm so glad it's worked out for you, Chris. So tell the audience, what franchise you were awarded and what was the launch like? Like, okay, now I have this thing. Now how do I make it reality?
yeah. So ultimately, I settled on Ellie Mental Health, which you can see from my background.
Yeah.
Outpatient mental health services. That company was founded and is headquartered in the Twin Cities of Minnesota. And the idea is to create a different experience with mental health. A nice warm clinic focused on helping the clinicians, the therapists themselves, work in a good environment so they can bring their best selves to work with the clients. I really like this concept for a number of reasons, and one of them is, as the stigma around mental health is breaking, and more people are realizing that it's okay to go get help and sit down and talk to somebody, because we all have issues. It's as simple as that. We all have them, but there's not enough capacity.
Hmm.
Someone decides they want to go out and see somebody, but they end up on a wait list, and they sit and they wait and they wait and they wait. So by bringing Ellie Mental Health out here to the Seattle area, creating more capacity for people to be able to get that help that they need and are looking for. Um, I was in a unique position where I am the first Ellie Mental Health clinic to open in the state of Washington.
Hmm.
And so treading a lot of new ground and helping the company as a whole kind of learn how the state of Washington works. And that's important because every state manages their medical laws differently. So what works in Washington is different than California, is different than Nebraska, is different than Florida. And in Washington, we're known as CPOM state, a corporate practice of medicine. That means a corporate entity is not allowed to run and own or not allowed to run a medical business,
Mm-hmm.
which mental health falls under. So what I did was I went through a hiring process and found a clinic director, and we've essentially partnered. She created a professional limited liability corporation, and we put the legal agreements in place where I have the franchise rights, and she licensed those rights from me to be able to operate and run the
Mm-hmm.
clinic under the Ellie Mental Health name. And she runs the day-to-day of the clinic. And we have an agreement, and we work very well as business partners. And it's been a really nice setup. And so I have 5 territories here in the Seattle area. We have the first office open, and we're getting this first clinic stable financially. And the next couple months, we're going to start working on opening our second clinic. And so we've got a plan to continue growing, adding more clinicians, and opening that next clinic here very soon.
So, Chris, explain that. When did you open?
We opened in September.
All right,
So it's been about
September, and
eight,
this is
9 months.
May. So,
Yes.
audience, I want you to hear how quickly he has ramped up to 6 clinicians. That's someone running the clinic for him. And in a couple of months, you had shared you're going to probably add 2 or 3 more clinicians.
Correct.
And start looking for that second location.
Yes.
All this while having a globe-trotting executive leadership job. Amazing. Amazing. All right, Chris, and I just wanted to comment to the audience, because we've worked together, but basically the way I would sum up Ellie Mental Health is you're taking care of the business side of the medical practice so that the clinicians, the medical providers, can do what they want to do, which is to work with the clients. Right?
Exactly.
Not worry about billing and that sort of stuff.
Exactly.
And this has been tried in other medical disciplines. We've all seen probably chiropractic clinics, all the vision centers where there's an optician there and that sort of thing. So there's a business side to medicine plus the patient or client side or customer side of the business. And so it has been proven in franchising, over and over and over again very well. So,
yes.
And it lends itself, since you hired the medical provider for this semi-absentee business model, and it can work, and you're absolutely evidence of that. So I just wanted to give a little clarification on that.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Yeah, Ellie is set up with more centralized functions with billing, insurance, call centers, things like that, so that we can spend our time focusing on what's happening in the clinic itself and really focusing on taking care of the clinicians so that we can take care of the clients.
Right there in your local market. That's fantastic.
Exactly.
All right. Now, Chris, with any new venture, there are things that there's always going to be the unexpected. So what went well or better than you expected when you opened your first Ellie clinic?
Well, I'd say for us, and this, I think it's probably true for pretty much any new business owner, is as you're getting ready to open, are people going to come? You got a retail business, you get all stocked out and you're going to open doors. Are people going to walk through those doors and buy anything? For us, it was, we're going to turn on the phone lines, and are people going to start scheduling? I'm doing all the marketing. We're doing the outreach. We're doing everything we can to get our name out there and make sure people are aware of that we exist. And we're going to turn those lines on. And is it going to be just silence? Oh, I hope it's not silence. That's not good. And you wake up in the middle of the night worried about it. So, is there something else I should be doing on the marketing? Is there, should I reach out? Is there another group I should be talking to help? And we turned on those phone lines, and phones started ringing. People started calling. We started scheduling appointments. And as I said, we've got 6 clinicians. Their schedules are pretty much full. And we're working right now as these couple new clinicians come in over the next couple of weeks on getting their schedules full. And so it's been working very, very well. And so all that worry that I had initially, I'm good. We're good. It's working. So
fantastic. All right. Now on the flip side, what didn't go according to plan, or what was more challenging than you anticipated, Chris?
Yeah, I'd say that the thing I learned is that everything is going to take longer than you expect it to. I don't care how many people you talk to at the head office, how many other owners around the country you talk to, it's going to take longer than you expect it to. And of course, time is money, so that means it's going to cost more as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to take you longer to find a location. It's going to take you longer to get that location renovated and ready to open. It's going to take you longer to hire the people that you know that you need to hire. Of course, I also recommend take the time to hire the right people, because hiring the wrong people fast is going to be worse than waiting a little bit longer and getting the right people in the door in the first place. So take that extra time, but it's going to take longer than you expect. It's going to take longer to get the financing. I spent months trying to get my SBA loan in place, answering the same question over and over and over again. I'm sitting here at 9 o'clock at night on the West Coast, and I get a call from somebody at the bank who I know is on the East Coast. So they're working at midnight for some reason. And they're asking me a question. I'm like, I've explained this to you 9 times already. Why do I have to explain it a 10th time? So it's just going to take longer to go through that process. So, but it will happen. So plan the extra schedule, plan the extra costs, and plan that margin into your plans, and just keep plugging. It's going to take longer. Just know that that's typical, and that's totally normal. So don't let it discourage you. Just keep plugging away.
So be prepared, and also rely on Ellie. Were they there to help you with site selection and recruiting people and that sort of thing?
Yes, they had from site selection. They had resource guides. They had people who could answer questions for me. So when I'd go in and look at a potential office site, I could come back with questions and say, I saw this, I saw that, I like this, I don't like that. What should I be thinking about? They had those resources there for me. They connected me with a real estate person in the area who was able to help me find the right places that matched what our needs were, as well as hiring. They had a lot of resources there available for us. For me, when looking for a clinic director, is what are some of the things I should be asking about, thinking about, how should I most providing those resources, and then providing us some of the resources as we go out looking for clinicians as well. So they provide a lot of support.
Questions to ask, all of that, right?
Yes, exactly.
You've never done it before.
I've never done it. So when I'm interviewing a clinic director, what are some of the things I don't know? And so they were able to help me with that and provide me some guidance.
Fantastic. Well, Chris, this show is called Smart Business Strategies. So if there is one thing you have to share with the audience about exploring franchise opportunities, what would you say?
Don't go it alone. You can't build a business on your own. And even just getting into the franchising in the first place, you go out and you grab an entrepreneur magazine off the shelf at your local bookstore. You're going to find hundreds of businesses that franchise. The reality is the universe is thousands of businesses. And there's no way you can go through that many businesses and find the one that works for you. I would never have found Ellie if I had gone that route. So working with you, Anna, you've been incredibly instrumental in helping sit down, spend the time to get to know what I want, who I am as a person, the kind of leader I am, what interests me, what are my criteria, and narrow that universe down to a much smaller group so that I could focus my time on the ones that matter and the ones that are going to work for me. And so just having you as a resource, Anna, was absolutely fantastic. And of course, beyond that too, the mentoring that you offered. I sit down to talk to people at the home office, or talk to other franchise owners around the country. Well, what questions should I be asking? What information do I need to know to help me make a better decision? Some of these things I don't know to think about. You've been there, you've done this, you've been able to help give me that guidance and mentorship so that I could get all the right information to make a good informed decision. And then of course, you have a ton of contacts and resources. You were able to connect me with lawyers to help me look through legal documents, accountants, banks and brokers to help with financing. You've got all these contacts, and you're able to help connect me with those, because some of those I don't know where I would start looking myself, and I would spend all sorts of time. So this comes back to the don't go it alone, because you spend so much time spinning your wheels trying to figure something out when you've got you, Anna, who can provide that resource directly for me and help save me a lot of time and hassle, and allow me to really focus on the things I need to be able to focus on to choose and get to opening a franchise.
Well, Chris, share with the audience, how much should you pay me for my services?
Not a penny. That's not how you're compensated. All I invest with you is my time. And as I just said, is how all the stuff that you do, the resources that you bring, actually makes my investment of time more efficient and more focused. And so, but that's the only thing I put in there. I don't pay you a dime. That's at all.
All right. Well, thanks for sharing that. And Chris, we are out of time. If you have, I wish we had more time, but thank you so much for sharing your insights on how you found your ideal side hustle franchise. And this lets other corporate leaders like yourself take away that it is possible from hearing your experience. So that's wonderful. And audience, join me in thanking Chris for being here. This is Chris Roberdeau, globetrotting executive as his day job and side hustle franchisee. All right, audience, thank you for watching and listening and being here. Be sure to come back next Wednesday at 11:30 Eastern. We're going to talk about a new school opportunity. There are all kinds of schools. There are preschools, there are swim schools, there's even driving schools. So come back, learn about this newest opportunity, make it a priority to be here, and I'll see you then. I'm Anna Wilds, the franchise economist. So long.